Welcome to When the Heart Calls, a weekly podcast offering reflections and transmissions from the ongoing journey of transformation forged through lived experience. I am Jasmine, and today's episode is an appreciation of ourselves and a commitment to where or what we want to become. So let's get into it. A couple of mornings ago, I awoke with this thought that had dropped into my awareness. And this reoccurring thought was about how much has changed for me in 5 years' time. So to give you a little bit of context, 5 years ago, a little more than that, but almost 5 years ago exactly, I changed my life radically. I left a career, I left a relationship, and I left behind material things. And I left geographically where I was living, and I set off on a new adventure. Something in my heart was calling for redirection, pivoting into a new chapter, and I had no idea where it was heading. I just knew I was ready in the deepest parts of my soul for something different. And so I said yes. And I said yes in a very dramatic way, as you've just heard, letting go of a lot, letting go of identity, letting go of what drained me, letting go of what really didn't matter as much, were outside of me things. I was going on an inward journey. I didn't know it at the time, but I was. And what's transpired for me in the past 5 years is beyond anything I, as the human ego, could have imagined. By saying yes to this journey, and saying yes, not just once, but time and time again, I said yes to whatever. I gave myself permission, and permission to say yes to whatever felt right for the first time without the noise of the world. What felt right to me, without obligation, without responsibility to others. The freedom to choose for myself. And almost instantaneously, I started healing. Decades, lifetimes of wounds. I dove into, I've divin's not a word, but I dove into a lot of stuff and continually do. Like peeling layers of an onion. Okay, what's next? Ooh, that sounds good. Okay, what's next? And it wasn't in a bucket list way of let me see what adventures I can accumulate or check off. Granted, that has always been in the background. What became most important was healing what I'd become, the layers of people pleasing, of giving away pieces of myself. What mattered to me what I wanted to do compromising. I mean, this became a big time of like, no, this is going to really honor me. Anyway, without more detail, I healed. I healed really quickly physically. Within 6 months' time, I physically was already noticing decades, a lifetime of injury and chronic illness disappearing. And it became super encouraging to just keep doing the work and going deeper. Anyway, I've shed structure and identity, and along the way, I've met new people, and some have stayed for a day or a season, and others are still traveling with me. And it's just been the most exciting and the most rewarding adventure that I've ever been on. And so I think why this came into my awareness this past week was, one, to really honor myself, to appreciate just how much I've experienced in a quick 5 years. More than I possibly could have imagined, healing on so many levels, not just for me, but for my lineage, for some of it has been even what's in the greater consciousness and hard to explain in a vague way. But and so with that, not only did I have that incredible appreciation of, wow, look at how far I've evolved and changed, that what I set my mind 5 years ago to become, that vision I held in my mind's eye, not how to get there, but just who I wanted to become, a strong, independent woman, a healed, strong, present, independent woman, that I've become that. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that. I'm proud of that. And right on the heels of that awareness came, oh my goodness, what does the next 5 years hold? How much may I shift in the next 5 years? And so recently I've been doing that work of repainting that great big picture, that vision of what's next, and leaning in with full faith, confidence, radical trust and surrender that I am enough, I am deserving, I am worthy, I believe in myself, I trust myself, I love myself, I accept myself, I forgive myself. I am spirit, having a human experience. That's pretty powerful. And to fully surrender to that with zero idea of where the journey's heading is actually super exhilarating. I'm really, there's not this fear and trepidation that was there 5 years ago. I'm exhilarated and excited. So anyway, just to summarize this or to wrap it up, I'll say, yeah, I invite you to really honor yourself. Where's the past 5 years? Pick a number, pick a range. What's that? Who were you then? How have you shifted? And know that we are the architects, the creator of this journey. And where do you want to head? Who do you want to become? How do you, not the how, leave the how to the universe, but dream big. Dream with virtue and intention. And yeah, it'll be interesting to look back in another 5 years and, oh my gosh, we are in for such an incredible ride, which I'm so grateful to believe will shift incredibly within my lifetime. So yeah, it's an episode of reflection and of dreaming. As always, may you take what resonates and and let the rest fall away. And I thank you for being here. And I look forward to connecting with you next time when the heart calls. For access to bonus material, or if you feel called to do some deeper work, I invite you to visit my website, which is in the episode description, and join the mailing list. Thank you for listening. I look forward to connecting more deeply.